German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has tried to downplay tensions with the United States after Washington announced plans to reduce the number of American troops in Germany. Merz said US plans to withdraw troops have no connection to the rift with Donald Trump over his strategy in Iran.
And 3 people have died after a suspected hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship sailing in the Atlantic Ocean, the World Health Organization has told the BBC. 1 case of hantavirus has been confirmed, with 5 more suspected cases under investigation, it said. 1 British national is reportedly in intensive care.
The final match of the 11th HBL Pakistan Super League PSL edition was preceded by a star-studded closing ceremony of the tournament, featuring fireworks and performances by popular singers, including Aima Baig, Arif Lar and Atif Aslam. Scores of spectators arrived at Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium on a hot Sunday to witness the gala event that was followed by the final clash between Peshawar Zalmi and debutant Hyderabad Kingsmen.
And police in South Africa have managed to recover human remains after an officer was lowered from a helicopter into a crocodile-infested river in the search for a businessman swept away by floodwater last week. The reptile suspected to have eaten the missing man had already been killed, but Captain Johan Potty Potgieter said it was still a nerve-wracking experience.
Iran has received a US response to its latest peace proposal. Iranian state-linked media have said Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said the response, which was delivered via Pakistan, was now being reviewed, according to Tasnim news agency.
Manchester United secured Champions League football next season as Kobbie Mainoo's strike earned a thrilling 3-2 victory over old rivals Liverpool. United were 2-0 up inside 15 minutes on Sunday through Matthias Cunha and Benjamin Sesko, but imploded after the break to allow Arne Slot's men to level with goals from Dominic Soboslai and Cody Gakpo before Mainoo secured the win.
At least 18 people have died in flooding and landslides caused by heavy rains in multiple parts of Kenya. The police stated on Sunday that landslides were reported in Tharaka Nithi, Elgeyo Marakwet and Kiambu counties in the country's central and eastern regions. They confirmed that 18 lives had been lost to these incidents and urged caution amid the challenging weather conditions.
Authorities in the United States have said that the suspect accused of attempting to kill President Donald Trump was the one who shot a Secret Service agent at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last month. Officials initially did not provide details on how the agent, who was wearing a bulletproof vest, was injured. On Sunday, U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro told CNN that investigators have confirmed that the agent was shot by the alleged gunman Cole Thomas Allen. A new study examines how large language models perform in a variety of medical contexts, including real emergency room cases, where at least one model seemed to be more accurate than human doctors. The study was published this week in Science and comes from a research team led by physicians and computer scientists at Harvard Medical School and Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. The researchers said they conducted a variety of experiments to measure how OpenAI's models compared to human physicians. Tehran said on Sunday that the United States had responded to its 14-point proposal via Pakistan and that it was reviewing the response, according to Iranian state media. At this stage, we do not have nuclear negotiations, an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson said, according to state media.
A bulk carrier reported being attacked by multiple small craft off the coast of Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. Britain's Sea Trade Monitoring Agency has said. In a brief statement on Sunday, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, UKMTO, said all crew on the unidentified northbound vessel were reported safe after the incident that took place 11 nautical miles, 20 kilometres west of Sirik, Iran.
And An Israeli court on Sunday extended for 2 days the detention of 2 foreign activists from a Gaza-bound flotilla who were brought to Israel for questioning. A rights group representing them said the flotilla of more than 50 vessels had set sail from France, Spain and Italy to break Israel's blockade of Gaza and bring supplies to the devastated Palestinian territory.
Hardly a week passes without some new spat between the Trump administration and Europe, but in a year that has seen a major dispute over tariffs, US President Donald Trump threatening to annex Greenland, and disagreements over aid to Ukraine, the most pressing threat facing Europe is the ongoing transatlantic rift over NATO.
And in the shattered neighborhoods of Khan Yunis and Deir el-Balah in the Gaza Strip, the roar of Israeli drones and the concussive thud of controlled demolitions are daily reminders that the war has never really ended. And despite a ceasefire in place since October, families continue to pull bodies from the rubble. According to local medical sources, 828 Palestinians have been killed since the truce began. Now, and families in Gaza are bracing for a renewed offensive as Israeli officials threaten to tear up the fragile agreement to force a surrender.
Welcome back to TechCrunch Mobility, your central hub for news and insights on the future of transportation. To get this in your inbox, sign up here for free. Just click TechCrunch Mobility. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive today, which may make this newsletter look a little different than normal. There is a reason.
And BAUR. 2 people, including a social activist, were killed in separate attacks in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Bajor district on Sunday, police and rescue officials told Dawn. The first incident took place in the Khoi area of Salazai Tehsil, where unidentified armed assailants attacked social activist Malik Ziaur-Rehman near his residence, Salazai Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Jamal Shah said.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards on Sunday said the United States faced a choice between an impossible military operation or a bad deal with Tehran after US President Donald Trump disparaged Iran's latest peace proposal. Negotiations between the two countries have been deadlocked since a ceasefire brokered by Pakistan came into effect on April 8, with only one round of direct peace talks held in Islamabad so far.
Islamabad, the Asian Development Bank, ATB, announced on Sunday a $70 billion initiative on Sunday to expand energy and digital infrastructure across the Asia-Pacific region by 2035, aiming to strengthen powered electricity trade and increase broadband access. The plan includes $50 BN for a new Pan-Asia Power Grid initiative and $20 EV, $8 BN for the Asia-Pacific Digital Highway Project.
And 2 activists from a Gaza-bound humanitarian flotilla have been presented before an Israeli court days after they were abducted following their detention, with 175 other campaigners by Israel in international waters near Greece. Spanish national Saif Abu Keshek and Brazilian Thiago Avila have been on a hunger strike during their detention, although they have continued to drink water.
Pope Leo has marked World Press Freedom Day by condemning violations of media freedom around the world and paying tribute to journalists killed while reporting in conflict zones. At the end of his weekly Sunday prayer in a sunny St. Peter's Square at the Vatican, the pontiff said the day highlighted both the importance of independent journalism and the growing threats faced by reporters.
And Lahore is all set to host the grand final of the Pakistan Super League PSL 11, with preparations reaching their final stages for what promises to be a memorable night for cricket fans. A colourful closing ceremony has been finalised ahead of the final match, featuring performances by leading Pakistani artists including Atif Aslam, Ali Azmat, Arif Lohar, Aima Beg and Sabri Sisters. The ceremony will also include a spectacular fireworks display.
Peshawar Zalmi won the toss and decided to field first in the high-octane final of the 11th season of HBL Pakistan Super League PSL against tournament debutants Hyderabad Kingsmen in Lahore on Sunday. Peshawar Zalmi, who entered the final after crushing three-time champions Islamabad United by 70 runs in the first playoff match, are on a run for their second title. They last lifted the trophy in 2017 when they defeated Quetta Gladiators in the final. Bajar, two people, including a social activist, were killed in separate attacks in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Bajar district on Sunday, police and rescue officials told Dawn. The first incident took place in the Kohi area of Salazai Tehsil, where unidentified armed assailants attacked social activist Malik Zia Rehman near his residence. Salazai Deputy Superintendent of Police, DSP, Jamal Shah said.
A new browser-based game called Angry Bobsy is gaining attention among cricket fans for featuring Pakistan star Babar Azam. The game's concept appears to take inspiration from the popular Flappy Bird, where players guide a character through obstacles by tapping or clicking. In this version, the central character is based on Bobsy, a nickname widely used by fans for Babar Azam. Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium is all set to host the final of the 11th season of HBL Pakistan Super League, PSL, with Hyderabad Kingsmen and Peshawar Zalmi taking on each other. The toss for the tournament decider will be held at 7:30 p.m. following a star-studded closing ceremony. The final action will begin at 8 p.m.
And Russian drone and missile strikes in Ukraine have killed 10 people and injured at least 76 over the past day, reports say. Officials in 5 regions around the country reported fatalities as Moscow continues to target Ukrainian cities with regular aerial attacks.
The United States military says 2 service members participating in a multinational military exercise in Morocco are missing. In a statement on Sunday, its African command, AFRICOM, said the pair went missing on Saturday, close to the Cap Dra training area near the city of Tan Tan in the country's southwest. Israel has given final approval for a multi-billion-dollar deal to buy 2 new combat squadrons of advanced F-35 and F-15IA fighter jets from United States manufacturers Lockheed Martin and Boeing. The Ministry of Defense says Israel's Ministerial Committee on Procurement signed off on the deal as the initial phase of a 350 billion shekel Dogreim 19BN program to boost the country's armed forces and strengthen readiness ahead of a demanding decade for Israeli security. It said on Sunday.
And OPEC Plus has agreed to a modest, largely symbolic oil output increase for June as the United States-Israel war on Iran disrupts Gulf supplies through the Strait of Hormuz. In their collective commitment to support oil market stability, the 7 participating countries decided to implement a production adjustment of 88,000 barrels per day. OPEC Plus said in a statement, making no mention of the United Arab Emirates, which quit the body on Friday.
Spirit Airlines, a budget carrier in the United States, has begun winding down operations, cancelling all flights after talks with the Trump administration to secure a $500 meters bailout failed. Experts say a spike in aviation fuel prices from the US-Israel war on Iran dealt the final blow to the struggling airline that pioneered the ultra-low-cost carrier model. The airline's shutdown after 34 years has left some 17 zoo and staff members unemployed, many passengers stranded, and raised doubts about the future of budget air travel.